Shashi, would you show a slide?
Sorry, I
Can
didn't.
you, yeah, can you show a slide? I'll just stop the share here.
Okay, sure.
I think today I don't think any issues with respect to voice and noise, I guess.
Yeah,
Pretty clear, right, Gautam?
very clear.
Great, okay.
Give me 2 minutes. That's all. Hello, Gautam. Can you hear me now clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, how are you?
Good.
Let's start with our session, and like I'll have some few minutes discussion about like importance of Salesforce admin, right? And once that is done, let's like create an org and see like what are the things and how org structure like basically it will like, look into, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like Salesforce admin, right? We generally like starting with Salesforce admin. So Salesforce admin works with stakeholders in order to define requirements and also to customize the platform. Right? A Salesforce admin like understands how to make platform work for the company unique need. So he basically like deal with fundamental concepts like as yesterday I have told you, right? Like just like creating a users, giving the permissions, all basic requirements of a customer will be dealt by Salesforce admin. So we
Yeah.
need to deal with functional concepts like which has ultimately no coding. In Salesforce admin, we will not be having any coding, right? Only we have some features where we can do entire functionality with point and click. So this functionality like makes Salesforce admin guy a very important key role. Okay? So this
Yeah.
Salesforce admin solve complicated business issues and deliver creative solutions like making Salesforce customers very happier and also business. Right? So basically what Salesforce admin like what they will do is like they will have some important rules like they will be used to maintain the platform, like make as easy as possible for users of any technical level to Salesforce and stay update on the platform, new tools, capabilities and updates. So whatever like in general in Salesforce we'll have different updates happen. So whatever updates happen to the Salesforce, this admin will play a key role and have all the knowledge of the updates happening to the Salesforce. Okay. So
Yeah.
let me give you an example here. So why we are talking as a Salesforce admin as a key role? Because like for example, we'll have our sales team, right? So they will be using our sales flow to keep track of our opportunities and close deals. So these opportunities and deals we will be like going like a bit more in further sessions. So basically, with this help of Salesforce admin, our salespeople they can set up personalized dashboards, reports, alerts, etc in order to shorten our sales cycle and track every lead. So it's like yesterday, as I had said earlier. So in order to like make some reports, like how the performance is going on, how the deals are going on, everything can be handled from the Salesforce. So this level of organization, like it will give great satisfaction among our customers. So basically, this Salesforce admin is given with such an importance. Why? Because he will be in charge of adding new users, as I said earlier. So whatever the user might be of a manager, a director, or anyone, from a normal user, from like an associate to the manager, to add up all these users, checking their permissions, the roles, and also giving securities to the users, and also to restrict the data access, doing some automations. Everything is responsible only by the Salesforce admin. he has capability of creating data, editing. I mean, if a particular person resigns from the company, the responsibility of removing this data, the responsibility of removing his access, everything will be done by a Salesforce admin. Okay. Any questions? Go.
No.
Mm.
Good.
So all these we will be learning as part of our further sessions, like how the Salesforce admin give access, how they can restrict access. Everything will be learning in the further sessions. This is a small like brief description of our brief introduction about the Salesforce admin and why he's
Yeah.
like given an utmost importance. Okay. So now let's create an org, like Salesforce org. As I said earlier, like Salesforce has given like a feasibility to a developer, feasibility to an admin guy to learn himself on his own. Okay. So you can view my screen, right? You can view my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
So we have a URL called developer.salesforce.com. So this is basically a website. Here you can see normal the information about the Salesforce. Okay. Here you can see some free tutorials, some blogs, how you can start, what are the events, everything can be seen here. But in order to like sign up, I mean, in order to create our own account, you can sign up from here. Okay. If you have your any login credentials, you can directly log in from here, or else you can sign up from here. So from here, you can like register yourself. This is set to be a developer edition. So the one which we are currently logging is with developer edition. So here you can see a full feature copy of Lightning platform for free. Here you do not have any expire or any free trial. Directly you can log in from the developer.salesforce.com and you can register yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for now, like I will be registered. Admin or developer, anything you can choose with developer. Like it's not like you have to choose any particular thing. Any role can be chosen. Okay. So for now, I'll be like clicking on developer, and you should give your company name. It's not like a like you need to give your current company. Any company you can give here. In the country you need to select here. Right? You have some postal code, right? That can be
Yeah.
selected here. And this is your username. So this username you need to like give of your own. So which should not be like if say for example you have already created a Salesforce. I mean you have already have an developer edition of your Salesforce. Your username should not be the same. Say for example here, so it should be of an email format. You see here, I'm signing up here. Here, if you see, you are already using that username in another Salesforce login credential. So, what does this imply? Is in the sense that we already have a Salesforce login credential. We already have a Salesforce developer edition. So that is the reason it is giving us this error. Basically, your email, your username must be of unique. So I'll give some. It's not like only I have to give some particular username. It's not something like that. It should be a unique. Okay. So here I'll sign up now. So now, like since we have given our email, so start with our email. Earlier, since like we have given the same email, I mean same username, right? So that is the reason we got a message saying that it's already in use. Now this is the one which um, maybe there is some delay. Let's wait for 2 minutes. Actually, like whenever this message comes, directly we will be getting a like email message saying
Hmm.
that like verifying our account. I think here this is different. Yeah, now we got it. Might be some delay. So here you will be getting an email stating with this dialog box saying that to verify account. Okay. So you can directly log in from here, and you also have a username here. This is our username which we have selected. So in order to like verify our account, you need to just click here so that it will redirect to our Salesforce page saying that to change your password. Okay. So you need to just click your password. And here there are some security questions which you can give of your like this is the first one have it and you need to change your password. Okay. So once it is done, you will be redirected to the Salesforce auth. This is a Salesforce auth which you have. This is set to be a lightning. Okay. So what we will be doing, we will log in now, I mean we'll log out. Show you. So basically what is the URL of our Salesforce is login.salesforce.com. This will be the URL. So whenever if you want to log in into the Salesforce, you need to use this URL login.salesforce.com. Okay. So this is the URL which is also used for production. So here we will be having some sandboxes. Okay. This is a free auth given by our Salesforce. Normally we will be having a kind of sandboxes where developer or admin will be using one sandbox and we will be having a production sandbox where it is completely of our which is used by client. Okay. In Medium also you will be having some other sandboxes which will be used for testing all those stuff. Okay. So the sandboxes which a developer or admin use, you should be logging with test.salesforce. Only URL is different. So the rest of the thing is similar. URL is different. So if you want to log in, like when you join the company or when you join a Salesforce project, whenever they give you sandbox, you need to log in with test.salesforce.com. Okay. But for our this is since practice or we will be logging with the same as our production. Only production and developer or we will be logging with login.salesforce.com. Okay. Any questions?
No, that's good.
Let's log in with our username. So if you want to register your mobile phone, you can register, or else you just click on I don't want to register my phone. Okay. So this way you can log into your Salesforce account. Okay. And now, like earlier, we used to do one more step before after logging into the Salesforce is setting up our domain name. Okay. Here, if you can see here, you can see right Virtusa 105 hyphen dev hyphen ed dot lighting dot post dot right. So earlier, what we used to have is that we do not have something like this auto generator. We used to like create our domain name. Okay, but now like Salesforce has automatically like redirecting and automatically creating our domain name. So here we
Mm.
have some advantages of this domain name. Like we have some uses of this domain name. So here if you can see Virtusa 105 hyphen dev hyphen ed, right? So what is this domain name? Why we need to change the domain name is right? So it highlights business identity with this unique domain, right? So since I'm working from Virtusa, since I've given the organization as Virtusa, so whenever, for example, if you are my client, if I give access to you, whenever you log into this organization, you will see that okay, this organization, this project is based upon Virtusa company. So that's the reason this domain name was given.
Mm-hmm.
And also like it determines how users are authenticated. Authenticated in the sense how true the users are. Only like true users will be available for this domain name. So no other users can access this domain name. It will restrict basically. So for example, if I give this domain name to the unknown user, they cannot log in. So that's the importance of this domain name. So Salesforce, like earlier, what we used to have our option to like choose our domain. Say for example, I have a Salesforce project and I gave this org to one of my clients, but I do not want to expose this Virtusa. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
earlier, what we used to do, like earlier, we do not have this auto creation of domain name. So we used to go to like in Salesforce and we used to create our domain name. But now, since Salesforce is upgrading its features, it is automatically creating this domain name. So we can also change it. So in order to change it, Salesforce has given an option for us to change our domain name. So here, if you see, we can have this gear icon, right? So this is the gear icon. We have our setup. If you click here, it will redirect to this page. It is same on this page. I just want to show you where is the setup. So if you're stuck somewhere in between in the org, if you want to go to the home page, you can directly click on this setup. So here setup we have this quick find. So here you can like search whatever you want, like how you do for. I mean, you have also option for search here, but normally if you want to search anything, like you can do from here, quick find. Just you need to click on the setup and you need to search from here. So here what I need to do, I need to change my domain name, right? So I will give as domain. Okay. So here you can see domains, my domain. So you can just click my domain. So like sometimes what happens is that some features are still in classic view. So that's the reason here you can see we can't display this page because the browser domain cookies. So since this is incognito window, sometimes this domain name cannot be viewed from the Lightning version. So it is asking to like open our page in our Salesforce Classic. Okay. You can
Mm-hmm.
directly click here. But before that, I'll show you how you can view Classic version. So basically, this is a Lightning version, right? So normally, if a project or if anyone wants you to work on Classic, you can just click this one, the one which we have our name and things. Right here, you have an option. Switch to Salesforce clients. Okay. Just click here. So this is the Classic version. Okay, so this is I mean almost and pretty much same with our lighting, but the view and the UI is something different. So again, if you want to like switch to lightning version, you can just click here. Okay, but basically if we can see like setup. So basically only the way and the organization of an objects or organization of view is different, but everything is other things are pretty much same. So normally, if you see, you have setup here, right, under the gear icon. But here you can see directly setup is here. So if you click here, it will redirect to our home page. You can see that only the view is different. Rest of the things are most probably same. So here you can click find same how we have done in our life. But our total this training session will be done on 19, but this is the place I'm saying like where you can like for your practice purpose just you can like click on this Salesforce Classic and Lightning and you can view the differences. Okay, so what is the difference? Like basically the Classic is an old version, right? As the name said, it is the
Hmm.
original Salesforce interface, right? And the Lightning is a new branded UI that completes changes of a Salesforce experience. So normally here you have some extra advantages and extra features compared to the classic version. Okay. You can see this is something visually upgraded and like normally more features can be viewed on our light. And application execution is also faster. So normally if you want to run any application, it will take some time to run. So in order to like make our application execution faster, they have upgraded the version from the classic to the light. And here, coming back, so here is the way where we can change our domain name. So just you need to click here to open in Classic, and here you can see. So this is my current domain. This is my domain name. I mean, this is the URL virtusa105.salesforce.com. Domain name is this, and domain suffix is standard. You can edit from here directly. So, for example, you don't know which domain name you need to do. I gave you need to check your availability whether this domain, for example, I am a client of Virtusa and you are also a client of Virtusa, for example. So here you also use the same number, then you have already created your domain name and created your Salesforce account. If I use the same domain name, then I will not get this option. Okay. For example, um, the domain name Sai ed is taken or cannot be used. Might be it can be taken by another user or another organization, or this kind of name is not like allowed for this. So either of the situation, this error will be getting. You will be not able to like register your domain. And this is a domain suffix salesforce.com, like this end part Salesforce. This is standard, you cannot change this. Okay. So for now, like what I'll do, I'll have some domain name. This is available. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just save it. So just it's ask a permission first, like whether uh, you are ready to save your or whether you are ready to change your domain URL. You can just click on OK. Okay. Now let's refresh. Now what we will do, so in order to check whether our domain name, see, here your new domain is being provisioned. Okay. After provisioning completes, deploy your new domain for your changes to take effect. You will receive an email when the provisioning is complete. So it will take some time to like make our change possible. Okay. So not more time, but it will take some time. Now it gave us an option deploy new domain, keep current domain. So if you change your mind and if you do not want to deploy a new domain, then you can keep as it is. You can just go to your previous working, I mean previous the thing which you're working on, and you can continue your work. But if you want to deploy your new domain, just click on here, deploy new domain. Okay. So again, it will ask our credentials. So just give our credentials. See, it got changed. VARSS0dev ed dot my dot salesforce dot com. Okay. Now you can see again domain. This is our domain. It is successfully changed. So even then, if you want to go back to your previous domain name, you can edit and also go back. Okay. Any questions? Any questions, Gokul?
No.
So let me know like if it is little faster so that I will slow down. Is it okay, or do you want me to slow down and explain, or is it okay? Am I audible? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me know like if it is little faster so that I will slow and explain.
That's okay.
It's fine, right? You can
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
me in
fine.
between anywhere. Yeah, you can stop me anywhere in between if you like have something trouble, or if you have anything like not understandable, so that I'll be explaining. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, like since we have set up our domain name, so we just switch to our Lightning experiment. So completely, since we have been like working on Lightning, I'll be showing everything on Lightning page. But if you want to like practice, if you want to like mm, do some like investigation or do some quick check what is going on Classic, you can just, as I said earlier, you can just click here and you can switch to Salesforce Classic. It is pretty much same as I said, only like the way of organizing, the way of having the structure, and the way of having the objects and everything was something different. Other than that, most probably we have the same UI level and same the background is same. That's what I want to say. The backend and the background is same. Only the UI and some features will have extra in our Lightning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And one more thing, like Salesforce has also given us a practice session to do our like practice. Like we like since many of the people like do not have an option to join training session like that. So Salesforce has given a great opportunity for us so that we can practice from that org. The same org, but we have something called payments. Payment. So this was the link. You can just like type on trailheads, and the first one you can just open it. Skill for the future. Like this is for free. Here you do not have any like any cost or something. Just you can sign up. Okay, sign up. And log in. Just if you click on the sign up, so it links with our org. So how do you want to sign up from Gmail or Google? You can directly sign up from our Salesforce. Just click here. So you have already created your org, right? So from there you can directly sign up. Okay. So since I have already have an org user with this name, so that is the reason like Salesforce Trailhead can have only one org. So even though if I click with my new org, but still it will redirect to my old org. Here I have already it means like my Salesforce account is associated with Trailblazer account. So I have already an account which is registered earlier. So that is the reason it asked me like this. So since you have an already a Trailblazer account, so let's link them for you. So if you want to link it, you can link and log in so that you can have your like the current newly created one, or else you can log in with your old account. So if I, since I have already have my login credential, I'll directly click on login. Let's click here. This is a Salesforce given us a trailhead where you can practice everything. See here, you can see you have some badges, some points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, now since I'm starting with admin, I want to learn something about admin. So I just so everything like sometimes admin beginner. So if you just click here, so all the information you'll have. These are all Salesforce platform basics. So if you get started with Salesforce platform, then you can see, and everything was easily understandable and easily and detailed explanation is given here. The stories of Salesforce, and also once this is done, they will be giving us an exercise, an assessment. So each assessment, like if you do completion, then you'll have rewarded with some points, and if you want to retake, you can retake. Okay, and some exercise will be given. You can easily understandable, you can easily read this everything which is given by Salesforce, and you can practice. So likewise, if you complete some points, you get some badges. In interviews also, like you can sometimes people interviewers may ask like, did you like do some trailhead versions, how many badges you got, something like that. They can ask. So basically it's not mandatory to do this, but if you do this, like it will be an added advantage, and you'll also be like the process of easily understanding like how the Salesforce is everywhere. Not only this, everything in Salesforce you have everything noted, and everything will be available in this state. Everything you can practice here. So understand the Salesforce architecture, why we need to trust the cloud, why sharing is. Yesterday we discussed about multi-tenant, right? Everything was discussed here about APIs. You will have some videos. So this is really an like excellent feature. So everyone like who don't know, who cannot attend, who cannot understand anything, can easily log into the trainings, and they can easily like understand the concepts. Not only admin, so anything on the Salesforce will be available. Admin beginner. Next it goes to admin intermediate, admin advanced, Salesforce admin, software, or we have some marketing, as I told, right, for marketing, and also we have some CPQ technologies. Okay, everything you have FX basics for admins.
So, what is SFDC?
Yeah, this is like Salesforce developer console.
Oh, okay.
It's a full form. Like basically, uh, any interview or anything, you will be just they'll be asking, are you looking for job role of SFDC? Something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever like once today the session is done, you can just like create a Salesforce org, and you can like log in into this trailhead, and you can like just check how it is. Okay. Normally, like say SFDC in the sense like you have asked it. Normally, we will say Salesforce Development Console, or else you can also like mention as Salesforce.com. This one is the one. So instead of this Salesforce.com, they normally like term with SFDC. Okay, fine, right?
Yeah.
So this is about Trailhead. You like just practice it whenever you get free time. Like after today, just log it. Just link it, or it's like create a org like I have told you, right? Like click on developer.salesforce.com, create an org, and open this Trailhead and do some exercise if you like. If you have some free time, so you can log it from here. So basically, our next concept, like this is a small. This needs to be like explained to you like, before going to Salesforce. Um, in detail. So we have some. structure. This is said to be SDLC. Like, normally, it is the life cycle of Salesforce. Not only Salesforce, in any organization, any software industry, we have this structure. Basically, these are developers and admin people. So here you will be having some testing, right, and working and testing in the sense like developer or admin who want to like create anything, who want to like features, implement features, and who want to develop anything can be developed here. So once our development phase, once our admin phase is being done, that will be moved to QA, where QA team comes into the picture. So this QA team comes to be part of testing team. So whatever you develop, they will be testing it, whether you have developed correctly or not, or whether we have any bugs. So if there are any bugs, they will raise defects for us. So we need to fix it and get back to them. So the basic and the most important phase is also QA people. Whenever they approve your development, whenever they approve the functionality you have been given by admin on the developer, then only our code or our admin functionality will be passed to our clients. Okay. If these people doesn't approve, if we have some defects in our the creation, then we will our code or our functionality will never go to the production. So these are the people who plays an important role. Okay. So here we have some sandbox, as I told earlier, right? We'll have developer sandbox. I mean, in next part I will explain, but basically we have some sandboxes. Okay. So these sandboxes, these developer guys and QA, most probably they'll have same kind of sandboxes, but they will not be like if I have one sandbox, so I will not give the same sandbox to the QA people. We will create another sandbox and give to the QA people. Why? Because since we will be developing in the similar time, at the same time, if this QA starts testing, they will be finding some difficulties, right? So that was the reason. Even though we have the same type of sandbox, but differentiation will be there. These people will have different sandbox, and our like developer or admin will be having different sandbox. So once this QA people sign off our code or our functionality, then it will go to UAT. Okay. This is basically called as pre-production. So before you release to the client, so once again, like this phase will be there where we will be having another sandbox. Okay. So this UAT basically it used to retest. So sometimes it's not like every time QA people also will do correct thing, right? So here once again one more testing will be happening to our code or our functionality. Okay. So once this UAT will be done, it will go to stage. This is like it's not mandated. For some organizations, like it will maintain, some organization it won't maintain, but this is also a kind of sandbox where some clients, like if the clients want the requirement, if the clients needed another sandbox for testing, then the staging sandbox will be coming to picture. Most probably we will not be having this sandbox, but some clients they recommend to have this staging sandbox. It is also another phase of testing. So once all this cycle is completed, then it will go to the production. Okay. Here we will be having real data, client data. Yesterday you asked, right, like if you given access to the client, whether client can log in or not. Yes, then client can have access to this production. Only client will be working on this production. If everything is released to this production, what in the sense is like you are directly releasing it to the market. That's how the production is. Okay. So this is so important. So that's the reason we have these many sandboxes in order to check and verify whether our implementation is correct or not. Any questions?
No.
So here also like I'll explain you like QA, dev, sandbox, everything will be there. As I said earlier, you need to log in with test.salesforce.com for these sandboxes, and for production only it will be login.salesforce.com is the URL. Okay. Now we'll go to the other slide. These are different types of sandboxes. There are four types of sandboxes called developer, developer pro, partial data, and full, full or full copy. So these are different types of sandboxes which you can like clone from the production sandbox. So normally you will get it out. So basically consider this is our sandbox. So this is a sandbox. Consider like this is a sandbox. So how this basically, since we have login we have login from developers.salesforce.com, you have login into the sandbox. But basically, there is for the real sandbox, you cannot log in something like this. You need to pay some money, right? As I told you yesterday, you need to say pay some money from the Salesforce or client. Then only he will be giving us a sandbox. So how this sandbox is like, they can, how this originally the sandbox can be created is like they can only create from this production sandbox. Okay? Normally this production sandbox will be having a feature called clone, okay, clone or create a sandbox. So from production sandbox only you can create all these sandboxes, developer, QA, UAT. Basically these are names, but basically from production only you can create all this developer, developer code, partial data, and full code. So what is this different? Why these different types of sandboxes came into picture in the sense that every organization has their own requirement. For example, I am doing a project which is of only one. I do not need more features. I can have only some features. So at that point of time, I can request client to give me developer sandbox. Okay. It also like it basically it will depends upon the money also. Like if you want to choose developer sandbox, it will be less money. If you want to choose full sandbox, it will be of more. Okay. This is a screenshot we have from production sandbox. You can also find in Google. So normally this is the way you have in our production sandbox. So basically, like how you find some of things. For example, I have shown you domain, right? So you can see here my domain. The similar way, in production, you can also have this. I mean, you can go to setup and you can also find this feature where you can have this different types. Same way how it is. So here you can see like create. So here also you will have some limit upon to the client usage. So see here you can see available one. It means once you create one sandbox, you will not be having any other sandbox available. So you need to pay some money again to get the sandbox. Okay. So client also like you also need to pay money with Salesforce, right? So that is how it is. Okay. So what is developer sandbox? That it has capacity of 200 MB and it includes configuration, effects and metadata and all users. So whatever the configuration available in our production, that whole thing will be copied into our developer sandbox. That is what it means. Configuration in the sense like these the admin basically. You can simply like blindly or simply believe like configuration is like our admin task. So whatever admin features, for example, in account you have some different 10 number of accounts and you have 10 number of contacts. So all those can be directly copied to our developer sandbox. So when you create this sandbox, what will happen? This configuration, the users and effects and metadata can be directly copied to our developer sandbox. Any questions?
No.
And the refresh interval will be 1 day. So what is this refresh interval? Is it, for example, today I'll create a configuration object and tomorrow a new object is being created. So for within 1 day it gets refreshed. Tomorrow if I go and click this create, then that new object can be come into whenever we create this developer sandbox. In the similar way, we have developer pro where refresh interval is 1 day. Capacity here it increases 1 GB. Same configuration, effects, metadata, and all. This is somewhat advanced and somewhat like more data having sandbox called partial data. Here you have some more of like things like records. We'll be discussing in future the what are records, everything, and sandbox template support. Everything will be used in this partial data. Coming to the full copy, it is completely like copy of a production sandbox. You can see right capacity same as source. So whatever things you have in production, if you want to directly copy into your sandbox, you can use this full sandbox. So where you can have configuration, effects, and effects in the sense it's a coding part. Okay. all users, reports, history and chatter data. History in the sense like we'll have some history, right? Who will log in, who will log out, everything. So everything can be copied into this full sandbox. Okay. So these are different types of sandboxes you have. So normally in production only you can view this. You cannot view in any of these sandboxes. Any questions? Continue.
No.
Mhm. Okay. So basically, let's continue. So these are about sandboxes and everything, and we have created our domain. If you want to change your domain, you can change it. You have like just now we have also seen how to go for trailhead. Everything was done. Now our org is set up. So here you can click on setup, and you can find everything which you want. Okay. Yesterday I have said we have different types of clouds, right? That can be seen. These 9 dots is set to be app launcher. Click here, you can see app launcher. You just click here and click on view all. These are different types of cloud. Yesterday we have discussed it.
Yeah.
Service cloud, sales console, service console, chat, marketing. Since this is a like Salesforce given all, we'll have these clouds on free, but not all features. Only the features which we need, which are basically a fresher or basically who want to learn. So for them, they have given only few features. So these are the things where you can directly click and see what are available. Okay. And these are set to be objects. We will be discussing in tomorrow's class maybe. So these are all standard objects where you can have some objects you can directly click and see and you can create. You can see it reports, dashboards. Okay. So if you click Sales Cloud, yesterday I told you, right? We have some accounts, we have contacts, right? And you can have leads, opportunities. So these are some organizations. This is some flow of Salesforce, sales flow. And here you can see, yesterday we have discussed it. It will show some dashboards where you have on a sales flow, you can see that how many deals are closed, how many are open, what is the goal, everything you can set up here. Okay. Click here and you give some USD in the sense like United States dollars, right? USD currency. So everything can be set up here. Here, if you have any tasks, you can view here. If you have any event, you can view here. Okay. What are recent open things you have? You can show like it will be shown here. You can directly see. Okay. Everything will be here. See, groups, chat. Briefly, we will be discussing in further sessions, but this is the like overall or out page of the sales team. Similarly, if you go to Service Cloud, so here you can't see this opportunity service. Yesterday I told, right? So any problem you have, then you need to provide service. So the service will be basically it will be deal on basis of cases. How do you create case and everything. Okay. Is all we will be discussing in further. So this is a sales and service and different types of clouds. Marketing cloud, some campaigns. So basically, this marketing cloud, for namesake, they have kept here. But basically, marketing cloud will not be like this, something like this. So you'll have some studios, email studio, journey builders. So in order to, as said yesterday, in order to send an email, in order to do some marketing with the clients, everything, the scenario will be different. Since like to, to show a developer, to show an admin where like marketing is also a cloud given by the Salesforce, it was given here, but normally like we will not have only this, we'll have some extra features. Okay. Yeah. And these are some leads which are assigned today. We will be explaining, like we will be discussing more about leads later, but just keep in mind so we can like come to this point again after discussing about the leads. Okay. And here you can see we have developer console. So this developer console is basically like for a developer who want to write a code, you can write code here. Like here you can create classes, something, applications, and he can create, and he can do an application creation here. So this is basically set to be developer console. Okay. And also you have service setup. So the service setup basically like just to have some, like if you want to add your users directly, you can add your users here. If you want to see, so you can see here Salesforce licenses. So basically, since this is our free or given by Salesforce, you have only two licenses. One is mine, I mean one which I have already logged in. So this is mine, right? Mine. So already I have consumed one, and you will have another one license. So I can create another license also for only two licenses. But basically, normal sandboxes, if you want to like create users, basically you need to purchase license. If you purchase licenses, then only you can have more licenses and you can create more users. And these are some
Yeah.
service features. Yeah. And storage, how much storage, data storage. Here in this is in the free org, we have 6% storage. Okay. So this is data storage we use until here. So this all like comes in our service set. Okay. This just ignore for this. Like it's normally things like to give a view for a new, assume like we are new to the Salesforce. That's why they have given something called 26 or something like this. But basically, like how many cases you create, those will be viewed. How many cases you close, those will be counted. Basically, the service setup is only for service cloud people. Okay. So here you can see the cases, everything, how many number of cases, everything you can see. Okay. Basically, since the names as suggested, it will be a service cloud, basically used for a service cloud field. And here directly you can create new event, new task. We'll be discussing this in future. And this is for like some guidance center. If you want to learn something admin basics. Yesterday I told you, right? Like it is collaborating with Einstein, prepare for the latest release. So you can see, right? Everything modules. So since this org is directly linked with our trailhead, some of the things also will be shown here. Okay. So everything you can like view with this function. So what is this question mark? So if you want to have any help, if you want to have any like support from Salesforce, if you want to give any feedback, if you want to go to Trailhead directly, you can click on this question mark. You can also do from the key. You can view the release notes. So basically, release notes is the like Salesforce will be releasing its new features. Like normally, it's not like Salesforce. Every software will be releasing its new features, right? So all these things will be done on the basis of release notes. So now Spring 21 is being done. It is being released. So all this stuff, if you want to know, you can just check from here. What are the new things they are being like introduced? Everything will be given here with legal documentation, everything. So this is about here. And here, if you have any notifications, it will be shown here. And this one, you can click on settings. You can log out from here normally. And also, if you want to have your personal information, so here also it is again blocking. So we'll click on, we'll view on passive for now. So if you want to change anything like your email, or if you want to add your phone address, everything will be viewed. Okay. And start of the day, end of the day also, you can set it up. Personal information, basically. Okay. Let's switch back. So advanced user details. Okay, this we will be like discussing later. Right now you will get some confused. So if you want to change your password, if you want to change your time zone, if you want to see your login history, everything can be done from here. So this is the login history. You can see it. I have login this time. Now see. and I have logged into Trailblazer. Trailblazer versus Trailblazer. Since it is located and interrelated, it will be also shown this login URL and Trailblazer. See my last password change or reset here. Everything can be viewed from here. Okay. So this is a classic way. I want to show you one more thing. So since how we have here this, you can see here, right? Service cloud, marketing, everything. Here in classic, you can see under here, sales cloud, service cloud, community cloud, app launcher, marketing. So this is only the difference you are getting, right? Normally here you can see from this part, and in classic you can see from here. Only the display and the view is different. Since application execution is faster, that's the reason like they have been migrated to Lighting, but basically most
Yeah.
probably like everything was same, only view is different. So that's what it said, like move to Lighting experience and give your users a productivity boost. Like it means it will give us good fast execution and good features. Some good features like showing this. If you can see here, this I have shown you right here. This calendar and dashboard. This you cannot do in Salesforce Classic, but you can see like these kind of some extra features will be they're given in Lightning, but most probably the view is same. Any questions, Dilya? Any questions?
No.
Give me a moment. Okay, so that's it for today. So I think you can just create a Salesforce org and you can practice.